Like, Howard and I email back and forth, and I said, how you doing? He said, I'm doing fine. I said, I'll tell you the truth, I'm happy about half the time. He wrote back, he said, me too. And I said, I'm lying. He said, me too.
You said that it's hard, and obviously, like, the very little experience I have, I've noticed that it's hard. But you're also saying, like, that you've just had everything handed to you. Have you had to deal with, like, rejection and...
Had everything handed to me?
You keep saying, like, oh, I got really lucky. Like,
but I'm only telling you about, rejection.
Yeah.
I graduated from college and stayed around the college town for an extra couple of years playing in a very bad band. We made no money. I played the entire 70s. When those guys quit the band, I was 30 years old. We were making $80 a night for 3 guys, not each. You can't even call that rejection. We didn't get far enough to get rejected. We just didn't make any money. We just didn't care. I sent out my songs. When I say I wanted to be a songwriter, I don't mean I was sitting there dreaming about songs. I mean I was writing songs, making cassettes, sending them out. Writing songs, making cassettes, sending them out, sending them out, sending them out. You want to come to my house, I'll show you piles and piles and piles of, They wrote back and said, this song's so bad we had to rewrite it before we threw it away. You know what I mean? I got rejected by everybody, and I started doing comedy, and I had those albums. Some people thought it was great, but there was also club owners that heard those albums and said, we're not going to hire anybody that dirty. I got rejected, you don't want Jackie Martling, he says the word cunt. I've never said that on stage in my life, but that's what other comedians say. You don't want him, you want me. You don't want him, you want me. So the backbiting, it was a hell of a, I mean, I don't mean to put a good face on it. I've always been an optimistic guy. I mean, in college, I had enough horrible experiences to fill 5 novels, but I'll tell you the great times I had. You know what I mean? It's like, I wrote, here's a typical thing. I wanted to have a joke book. I know more jokes than anybody in the world. I wanted to have a joke book. I sent my joke book, sent my joke book, sent this joke book, sent that joke book, to where the point, this guy, his name was Pat O'Brien. I'll never forget because it's a famous actor's name. This guy, Pat O'Brien, he literally called me up and said, all right, Jackie, we'll publish your book. I mean, like personally said, like, all right already, like, stop annoying me, we're going to publish your book. I mean, but I had been rejected a zillion times. But the day they published the book, I forgot every other time that I sent it in, because that's what you have to do. You don't remember the things that didn't happen.
Right. How do you not take it personally?
Who said you don't take it personally?
Right, well, how do you keep...
You tell me you want to be a comedian, I tell you haven't got a chance. Either you say, well, that's your opinion, I'm going to keep going, or you get depressed. I mean, you just... You know what? I don't know the answer. I was telling somebody last night. I was talking to this girl today who has this whole kids aerobic thing, and how hard she worked, and now all of a sudden the whole world's coming to her. Because she has kids aerobics. Everybody's telling her she's crazy, and all of a sudden, what's the biggest problem? Obesity. And she's got a kids aerobic thing. The whole world's beating a path to her door, and Obama wants to be her friend. Who knew, right? Like, when I sent my albums to Howard, and he called me up, and I went in, I was on the show, and then slowly but surely I'm passing him notes, and he's like, I don't really need your help. And then he's like, yeah, I do need it. And all of a sudden I'm the head writer. When I connected the dots backwards, it looked like everything I'd ever done was leading me to that day. But you don't know that. It's like going through a maze. You don't know you're going, so all the rejections and blah, 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 blah. But I wasn't, I was 36 when I got my first paycheck from K-Rock. I was 36. I mean, I made some money as a comedian here and there, but 36 years old. When I was in 9th grade, I got a paycheck from Pipe and Rock Club, Aside from that, And so it was like bang, bang. I used to tell people it was like pinball. But as far as I know, I was having a time of my life. There was plenty of times I wasn't, but who cares? I mean, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? You just go on. It sounds silly, but I guess I knew I couldn't do anything else. I graduated. I'm at Michigan State, and I'm helping, I'm setting the curve on mechanics tests and calculus tests and atomic physics tests. but I got a ponytail, and I got bare feet, and my dog's with me in the engineering building, and here's these guys with their white shirts, with the pencil protector, with the pens, and hey, I just interviewed with Ford. Oh yeah, me too. I'm starting at $28,000. Oh, I'm starting at $32,000, and they're giving me a house. And other guys are like, wow, you're lucky. And I'm like, I would rather slit my wrists. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to move to Grand Rapids. And, I have a job, designing the next Sloopy car. I'm like, you out of your mind? I'm going to have a few beers and play a few chords and see if anybody dances. I don't know whether I was creative or whether I was evading real life. Do you know what I mean? There's always, do you have a desire to perform, or are you just trying to get laid? Are you trying to be an artist, or do you just like to drink and want to, who knows? Chicken or the egg, chicken or the egg. I just loved what I was doing. Now I've been around so long, I just love it. I mean, I get rejected every second. It's so funny because you say, what about rejection? It's so funny, it almost didn't register as a question. And I could probably sit here and tell you 30 things that happened today that, I sent my book proposal. I worked my ass off on my book proposal. Not only worked my ass off, I've had as interesting a life as anybody I've ever met in my life. And I laid it out, and everybody's like, this is the most incredible proposal I've ever seen. And the girl calls me up and says, I can't sell a book about you. I almost said, what the fuck are you talking? Did you read it? It's unbelievable how interesting it is. My opening chapter about that, me and Howard in the bathtub with Jessica Hahn. It's hysterical. Everybody's like, this is gold. They're going to be fighting for this book. The girls like it, You don't get any heavier rejection than, here's the story of my life. It sucks. Okay, so here's rejection. And that didn't even dawn on me until just now. You said rejection? It's so far in the back of my mind. I could walk around, I could have kicked Mets and said I got my book rejected. But, who cares? It's going to be her loss. You know what I mean? That's how the Beatles got rejected by every single record company. Every single record company. George Martin took them under his wing, and next thing you knew, they finally got to record a song.
Jack, 5-10 minutes?
No, I'm not leaving.
You can stay here while I go teach my journalism.
No, okay. I don't have like a summary. Was this what you wanted me to do?
Yeah.
Are we all right?
Yeah, we have a couple of
minutes.
Yes,
sir.
Can you tell us one of your best dirty jokes?
What was your question, Mario?
A dirty joke?
Well, this isn't that dirty, but this is one of my. I'll tell you a few. A guy's sitting on a Sunday morning, and there's a knock on the door, and he answers the door, and the guy standing at the door says, "Hello, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, and I have stories to tell you." The guy says, all right, come on in. So they go in, they sit in the living room, and the guy says to the Jehovah's Witness, says, let me get you a cup of coffee. Thank you. He gets him a cup of coffee, and he says to the Jehovah's Witnesses, says, now what are these stories you have to tell me? And the Jehovah's Witness says, I'll be fucked if I know. I never got this far before. You know what you do, Mario? Give me a subject. He's going to say sex. I'll tell you a clean joke. Oh, you know what? Here's a joke you can tell your grandmother, and you tell a priest, and you tell your kids. Two blondes are out to lunch. And the first blonde says to the second blonde, you got something on your cheek! And the other blonde goes like this. She says, no, the other side! She goes, see, those weren't too dirty, right? Lady goes up to the drugstore. Lady goes up to the pharmacy and says, I need to buy some cyanide to kill my husband. Druggist says, lady, I can't sell you cyanide to kill your husband. You'll go to jail, I'll go to jail. You're crazy. She reaches the purse, takes out a picture, and hands it to the druggist. It's a picture of a husband banging the druggist's wife. He says, you didn't tell me you had a prescription. That's all. Enough of that.